Man, it's blown its tits off this morning. Blow me dog off its chain. Hey guys, how you all doing? Hope everyone's settling well into the new year. It's well and truly started now, hasn't it? I haven't done a cycling vlog for a while, so I thought I'd just come out for a bit of a Clayton's loop, a bit of a light ride this morning, and just chat about what's been happening over the holidays. As most of you are aware by now, I bought a new bike while we were away on holidays. New Cube, well not so new now, a Cube Attention SL hardtail mountain bike, which is quite a good bike to ride. I'm really happy with it. Better now, I've put some air in the shocks. We did a bit of a family road trip for about 4 weeks over the holidays, and that's quite difficult for me to do. We haven't been able to do one for a while. I don't want to get into it too much. If you want to know more, I'll leave a link to my blog in the description where I've written about it. I don't want to talk about it too much now, and that'll give you a rough idea. I find it a bit hard to be in the car for periods of time, so that was actually a big achievement for me to do what we did. We went down through Brisbane and down through Grafton, and had Christmas with Mum, and then we headed down through to Sydney and Wollongong where I was born. We then went up the mountains and stayed at Adaminaby for a week up in the Snowy Mountains, and I've got some video footage of riding up there. I didn't get as much riding done as I wanted to, but after all it was just, you know, a holiday to get away. Didn't get as much fishing done either. I wanted to go trout fishing, but the Queensland weather seemed to find its way down to the Snowy Mountains while we were away. That kind of made it a bit hard, warm weather for the trout, so apparently they were catching them out in the deep reaches, but I didn't have a boat, so that made it hard for me. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Finally did get out to go for a fish yesterday morning. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that too much. So flicking the prawn. It's a bit like spanking the monkey, isn't it? Playing Satan's pink oboe. Quite lumpy and choppy. Yeah, needless to say, there was no fish for dinner last night. But I think the highlight for me over the weekend was two main things. One was catching up with some old cycling friends and going on a group ride. Haven't been able to do that for a while, and if you read that link, it'll explain why. Also too, catching up with some old friends, the Walters family. They have been absolute legends over the past 12 months. Joseph and Diana and the two children, Chloe and Jack, have just completed their 12-month lap of Australia. They've been touring their bikes for the last 12 months, and they've been absolute champions, guys. They've raised over $50,000 for motor neuron disease. I think people in America, I think they call it Lou Gehrig's disease or Lou Gehrig's disease. I've probably got that wrong, but here we call it MND. Sharon, my wife, her mum died of MND, so it's pretty close to our heart. So it was good to follow them on their travels. Yeah, so the group ride I went on went out to meet them out along Goodwood Road. So caught up with them about 8Ks out of Bundaberg and rode back with them. Had a coffee with them. And then yesterday, Sunday, at the Bagara Brew House, we had a welcoming home function for them where we had a few beers, and yeah, so it was a good weekend. Some more great news that I'm really happy about is, after being away and doing some rides on the mountain bike, because I hadn't done much ride, I did it a little bit over the time my knee was getting better. I realised how unfit I was. So when I got home, I decided to do something about it. So I jumped on the scales. We got home on the Saturday night. I jumped on the scales last Sunday morning and topped out at a whopping 129.8 kilograms. So I immediately decided to jump into action, guys. So plan was to cut out beer, which I've done for the most part of the week. I've had a couple. I had to celebrate yesterday, the Walters getting home and all. It's their fault, I'll blame them. And bread, which I've had pretty good success at. I've been on the bike a lot more this week, walking a lot more, and drinking a whole lot more water. Yesterday's was my first week's official weigh-in, and I'm happy to announce that I am down to 125.3 kilograms. So that's 4.5 kilograms, guys. I'm extremely happy with that. Yes, I've been down this road before, and yes, it's mainly fluid and so forth, and crap getting out of my body, but that's okay. It's got to start somewhere, and it's very encouraging. Alright guys, that's it for me. I'm about to turn into Wisers Road and hit this nasty bloody headwind. I'm going to put the camera away, head down, pass up, and pedal me little harder. Alright guys, take care, and as always, ride safe out there, eh?